There is a difference between the material life and the life in Eastern wisdom. What is that difference? Material life is all about lifestyle, marriage. Material life is all about lifestyle. Which car you have, how many houses you have, which brand of clothes that you wear, huh? How beautiful you are, huh? Lifestyle. And Eastern wisdom is all about life. There is a difference between lifestyle and life. For the sake of lifestyle, we forget the life. Are you happy? This is life. Are you in peace? This is life. Quantity is lifestyle. Quality is life. In the midst of anything happening in your outer life, if you don't forget your life, you are there. You are already in the state of meditation and mindfulness. Marriage will come and go. Divorce will come and go. Being single, being double, being triple will come and go. These are the parts of the lifestyle. Are you getting it? You never forget the life. Wherever you are staying, whatever the event is, whatever the celebration is, whatever the grief is outside, you live your life. That is the meaning of living in a moment. Are you getting it? Not living in a moment based on what is the event outside, but based on the state of your mind. Did you understand? And this is 100% possible. And that is what I proved. I've been, I given lessons last week also, this week also. You need not to worry about what is happening outside. These events will come and go. These events are bound to come and go, but your life, that defines the state of your consciousness, is the most important. Lifestyle, quantity. And this quantity will never make you happy. How many rooms you have in your house? Oh, this is a bigger house, but the neighbor has a little bigger house than you. Lifestyle. Which car you have? No, I have the latest one. Lifestyle. Life, peace. Are you in peace? Do you stay calm? Do you see that? A beggar and a millionaire have a different lifestyle. No, I'm giving you another point. A beggar, if you are not offended, we all are beggars as long as we have a demand and we have an expectations from life. Please don't mind. So you see that a beggar and a millionaire, they have a different lifestyle as long as they are awake. When they both are asleep, is there any difference? Is there any difference? See that. I thought better to take up that journey. You see, it's the same. In deep sleep, the guy is neither a beggar nor a king. Just check it. In sleep, there is no object, so no desire. See that. That is the beauty of the wisdom offered to us by the Eastern wisdom. We get carried away so deeply by the lifestyle, and then we fall into trap of the mind. Trap of the mind. And that is what I say. Mind is working on you, or you are working on the mind. So I heard after the marriage, oh, I had a hangovers. I said, okay, yes. Yeah, yes, yes. You should have it. Who was working? Mind was working on them. I can tell you it is 100% possible. That very life, the beauty of the life, the peace, you are surrounded by all kinds of people, and still that very life is possible. Sam, that very life, you are young. Perhaps you are the youngest, or maybe the web. That life is 100 possible. You have not to reject anything, you have not to accept anything. Eastern wisdom says life, not the lifestyle. I realized much later. The younger one have an opportunity to recognize that. Recognize that. We wake up in the morning, and the first thing the mind remembers is the lifestyle or the life. Check it. So it remembers the life. Am I in peace and calm? No duality and a conflict in my life. And if there is a duality and a conflict, I am in delusion. I want to fulfill my life through my lifestyle. That is not possible. Do whatever you want to do. So you wake up in the morning, you want to get up at 8, you have to you have to go for a work. Mind says you have a hangover, sleep, then you are late in the office, and ultimately you are not able to discharge your duties. Who is responsible? No, I'm not responsible because I have to attend the parties. And a long list. That belongs to the lifestyle. Just see that, make a difference, and you are there. Many girls pushed me to dance, so I said, okay. And then I started looking at the steps of those girls, and I started imitating them, and they liked it. I tell you, life, Eastern wisdom is all about life. Don't create an ego. Again, I'm taking up another topic that's very important, and that people miss. So, what happens in our imitating? Then people laughed, and that's good. That's wonderful. So, what happens when I follow a lifestyle, the mind is working on me, I become arrogant. And the Eastern wisdom says knowledge leads to, do you remember? Vidya dadati vinayam. Knowledge leads to humility. Humility leads to inner qualifications. Inner qualifications gives you inner riches. Inner riches always keeps you in peace and joy and happiness. Don't you see that? If I get the next car, which cost 20K more than the first, you see the arrogance? Have it. If you have the resources, get it. But inner state of the mind should be under your control. Now, normally people say, do this, don't do this. Sam was saying, I stopped drinking coffee. Yes, that's better. If there is no issue, if there is no conflict in you, better to stop it. Understand this. That is the beauty of the Eastern wisdom. That is how we can take over the mind and we can take over the lifestyle. And ultimately, we live from a moment to moment. Nothing to reject outside, nothing to accept outside. So that quality of the life doesn't compare, doesn't enter into conflict, is not confused. Do you see that? Eastern wisdom, I just think of it, contemplate. Eastern wisdom is all about life. Life manifests from the consciousness, and the highest consciousness is the real self. Now, if you say that it is all about my lifestyle, material life is all about lifestyle. You see the gossip? I eat this, that suits me. Oh, you eat this, that doesn't suit me. No, see. Now I started, saving money for a vacation for peace. And I told you one couple went to some place for a vacation, and moment they reached, they both were sick. They have booked a hotel for 7 days, and they had to take medication for 7 days, and then they returned from vacation. It's all about life. No, I'm not saying don't go there. Don't start thinking in a negative way. Think of this clearly, contemplate, reflect. Terry cannot go for vacation, but if Terry feels in her mind that you see that I cannot go for vacation, then there is a problem. But if you contemplate and reflect on why I'm going for vacation, to vacate the mind or to fill the mind, think of this, my friend. Everyone, every human being, we all are human beings, every human being has a potential for that peace and happiness in spite of the money, in spite of home, in spite of car, in spite of relationship, in spite of anything that this lifestyle offers. We don't see that. Why we don't see that? Because we are in delusion. And what is that delusion? We think that this outer lifestyle will offer peace and happiness. Again, remember, I'm not saying that you reject everything, go to the Himalayas, become a monk. Monk also needs to eat. Monk also needs a shelter. The monk also needs a cloth. Difference is that the same house is known as a monastery. Do you see that? Same house is known as monastery. You are full of gadgets and applications of lifestyle. They also have the same gadgets and application for meditation. There's no difference. They have couple of rosaries, they have couple of images of gods and goddesses, they have a big meditation room, you have a small meditation room. Are you understanding that point? Minimum requirement is there for food, shelter, and security. We need that. So we should not refuse it. And if we have the resources, get it. But inner state of the mind reflects the lifestyle as transitory, as short lived, as constantly changing, as has no place for peace and happiness. Marriage celebration, there is an immense pleasure yesterday where the pleasure I was thinking have gone in the morning. What happened? Where the pleasure is gone? Take an example. Someone near and dear once died. One day grief, second day grief, third day, where it is gone. Think, 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 think. So when you contemplate and reflect on it, we remove the confusion. And when we remove the confusion, we enter into the discernment. And in that moment of discernment, you expand that moment of discernment throughout your life, whether it's a celebration, whether it's any happening outside. So, what happens? You never forget. And when you never forget, that is the meaning that you are awakened. Come whatever may. You are traveling, you never forget. You attend celebration, you never forget inside. That inner self, that real self. You remember, I will say, you start thinking that real self has nothing to do with this pleasure and pain. This will work. Oh, my real self does not celebrate. Why? Because it is always full of celebration all the time, 24 by 7. Its essential nature is peace and happiness. When I came to United States in 2007, I met three sisters, only age difference of 2 to 3 years. The oldest sister claims that I am her mentor. She is of almost my age. The youngest sisters, I gave all the three sisters couple of sessions for about a year. The youngest sister picked up a message that peace is my essential nature. Oldest sister joined the celebration, so she was telling me, and I was so happy. So we did for 1.5 years, and then we left. We are not in touch. So the oldest sister was telling about the youngest one. So her husband recently died of cancer, and she hugged the oldest one and she said, still, peace is my essential nature. You simply remember. I can tell you it works. One is lifestyle. People come and go in relationship, but internally, it will work. And she said it has been about 2 months. So every time we meet, first she says that peace is my essential nature. This is all about life. It works if you allow it to work. If you don't allow it to work, it will not work. Remove that confusion. This world is like this. It is constantly changing. People will come and go. Relationship will come and go. The money will come and go. Body is constantly aging. It will have challenges, but the peace and happiness are always inside. Remember, one is lifestyle, all about quantity. The more knowledge you have, the material world, we tend to become arrogant. But here the Eastern wisdom says the more knowledge we have, we tend to be humble. Receptivity is there. That is the beauty of this life. I thought better to start going deeper and deeper. And that is the reason we are learning Eastern wisdom step by step. We are going to the higher and higher step. So I thought better to talk about this lifestyle and the life. I never forget, we should never forget. I means we should never forget. Simple, again, I'm giving a phrase. I'm a human being, and that being is at the center about my peace and happiness and the human frame that builds up the relationship outside. Let it happen. Let it happen. Accept that. Accept that. So, what will happen? You will avoid hangovers. Simple. Because you have that moment, you have that awareness inside, it you will avoid. And because you have an intention to avoid, you have hundreds of excuses you can offer to the people outside in that lifestyle to avoid. Do you see that? It's a fact. It is possible. No, no, you know what we will do? No, we do social drinking lifestyle. I don't want to name the guy. He's a good friend of mine. Don't you see that I drive Mercedes? You know, I have to live in a society. I have to maintain that standard. So hence I drink. I said, very good conclusion. I don't teach those people. If you don't, you are not ready. But he's a very good friend of mine. I love you. What you talk, I like you. And then he goes back. And it's all about mind working on you or you are working on the mind. Now, why you love me? Because, I always love to listen to you, but I don't have a time. You'll be surprised that he spends $20,000. He has one daughter, or maybe two daughters, and he recently divorced his wife. 20,000. You can very well imagine. So when I talk to him that, we have 3,000 texts and 3,000 teachers, so he makes fun. Okay, he tells me Acharya. Acharya means that my mentor. What kind of a mentor I am to him? So you were talking about 3,000 masters and 3,000 texts. So can you give me a brief summary of one text with a glass of vodka in his hand? I meet a lot of people. He's still a good friend. I'm only telling you that makes a difference. You think of it, contemplate, and discern. Here is life and here is a lifestyle. Here is, I am working on the mind, here the mind is working on me. And I see his lifestyle when he used to drive me to New York City, rash driving, without belt. I said, what I have to do? He has to pay the fines too. Here is one more point. You need not to worry what others in your family are doing. Are you ready to take over the charge of your life? You do your best. You start living your life, and you will see the lifestyle slips away from you. You're working hard, so you get the resources, you earn the money, you have the resources, get everything that you like. But don't start craving for quantity. You work hard, it will come to you. Am I too serious? No. I'm just making it very easy for you. Now I have a lot of problems, and then you are saying that I should not earn. No, I'm not saying don't earn. It has nothing to do with the lifestyle. It has to do with moving from inside to outside, not from outside to inside. Did you understand that point? It is all moving from inside to outside. You're always happy. You move from outside to inside, pleasure comes, pleasure goes inside, mind says, very good. Now, face hangover. It will take 2 or 3 days, depending on what caused you hangover. You have taken the grief from outside, it will stay for about a week and then it disappears. Tell me if it does not disappear. Any grief, any suffering, and moving from inside to outside makes our life full of joy and peace. That is the journey of the entire Eastern wisdom. So let us start our journey. Eyes are closed. Eyes are closed. The body is. Your mind should remember now.